Greetings, welcome to So Much to Talk About. We're here at Test Football Academy. My pleasure to have defensive tackle for the New York Giants, Mr. Barry Cofield. Pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me.
So Barry, different type of off season. So I know you're rehabbing your shoulder and rehabbing also your bicep as well. So talk about that process and talk about how you keep yourself focused and getting ready for when football finally comes around.
It's just very, very strange off season, like you said. You just got to kind of go business as usual as much as possible. Just keep working hard, just with the hope that one day football will start back up. You don't know when it is, but you're just going to keep training, and the day that it does start back, you got to be ready to go. As far as the rehab, it's going well. It's going great. By any estimation, I'll definitely be ready for the season. So I'm happy with the way that's gone, and it's just about being ready whenever the time comes that we got to start back up.
Talk about the 2010 season, very disappointing, and the Giants obviously was good enough to make the playoffs. So what were the things that happened towards the end, especially with the Eagles and with the Packers, those games? Talk about, what are those things you take out of that for next season to make sure that you take advantage of and correct the mistakes?
I mean, it's hard to say. We just got to grow as a group. We got to do a better job of closing games. That Eagles game, by any – normally you win that game and you're in the playoffs, and that's how we felt. We felt like we were good enough to be there. We were good as the other teams that made the playoffs. But after that Eagle game, we just came out to Green Bay and just really had a letdown. Don't get me wrong, they ended up being a pretty good team. They ran already all the way to the championship, but we just didn't play. We didn't play well enough, at the end of the season. So, when you look back on it, we'll probably appreciate more. We got 10 wins, playing in a pretty tough schedule, and I feel like we accomplished some things, but we definitely fell short of where we felt like we could be. We got a veteran team, and we feel like we got enough talent to be in the playoffs, and that's the goal for next year.
And talk about that deep defensive line. I mean, the depth is incredible, and I've loved how Tom Coughlin has been able to develop that throughout the years, and Jerry Reese through the draft. So how great is it that you guys are so competitive against each other, and it really elevates the level of play when you play on Sunday?
It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun coming to work when you play on a D-line like that. We got a great coach with Coach Nunn. Coach Waffle left and went to Oakland, and they had a lot of success out there. So he's a great coach, and Nunn picked right up where he left off. So it just makes it a lot of fun to come into work. So much competition, so much talent, and we set a high standard. We set the bar high, and we always strive to reach that. So as long as we keep playing hard, as long as we stay healthy, I think we'll be the best D-line in the NFL.
Which players really intrigue you that are coming out in the draft? Which players you really think can make an impact? And also the Giants, what needs do you think they need to address?
There's a lot of this seems like a deep draft. The more I read, and there's a lot of D tackles, a lot of defensive ends, just a strong D line class, especially a lot of talent up top. With the Alabama alone, when you go Darius and Fairley, those guys both flash a lot on tape. They're good players, and then the kid from Clemson. I mean, there's a lot of talent coming on the D. Yeah.
He was lifting up. You heard about the 49 reps of 220?
Yeah. The kid from Oregon State. Yeah, that's amazing. So there's just a lot of athletic talent, a lot of quality young guys coming in. So there's a lot to choose from, and a lot of offensive linemen that are playing well. I hear that rumored a lot that might be the way we go. So if we go that way, there's a lot to choose from. But our front office, our coaches, they do a great job evaluating talent, and I'm sure they'll make the best choice for us.
Talk about your experience in Northwestern. Of course, it's one of the top academic schools in the country. And they don't give anyone scholarships. So talk about what you had to go through in college to make sure you had your grades up as well as progress as a footballer.
I take a lot of pride in going to Northwestern. I take a lot of pride in academics and how challenging it is, and it teaches you a lot about time management. The stuff that I had to go through it's honestly time-wise more difficult than it is now. As a pro, you go to work, 7 to 4, and that's it. But when at Northwestern, you got exams and you got essays, and then you got to go to practice on top of that and play in the Big Ten, where it's competitive. So it was the best of both worlds: athletics and academics. So it was a great challenge, and I think it prepared me for everything that I've faced since then.
Tyrell Sutton, what is he up to?
Tyrell, I think he's still with the Panthers. He's been he's had a couple injuries here and there, but he's got some time down there. He's still down there, and they got they're starting to run D'Angelo Williams is a free agent, so it could open up the door for Tyrell. So, he was a small guy, but he had a lot of heart, man. He reminded me of Mon Bradshaw, very similar Very similar player. So I like his game, and I think he's got a bright future.
Especially with racking up yards in college.
Yeah, he was very productive. My senior year was his freshman year, and he was very productive for us. So he played well, and if he can stay healthy, he can be a quality player.
Barry, I thank you for your time, and good luck on your rehab with your shoulder and your biceps. And we're gonna see football soon for sure. It's gonna happen. Too much money on stake.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks for having me.